Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is part 24 of our Let's Get Cooking series. In the last episode we made a ham sandwich, and I do apologise, there were a few mistakes on my part in that we had to handle as we went along. However, let's hope today's video goes without too much trouble. I don't mind leaving my mistakes in. It shows you how to correct them if you make the same or similar mistakes, how to find your mistakes. I've got no problem with that, we're human, but I'd rather them be a little bit less, have a few less mistakes, I should say. Okay, so, waffling too much, let's get on with it. What we're going to start with today is we're going to start with the fridge. But before we do that, we need to make a few data assets up. We're going to make the fridge, have it so we can open the door, because I realised after the last video, we've got the ham and the cheese, and we're going to do the bulk items, but we've got nowhere to store them. Here we've only got our shelves, which yes, we could put them on the shelves, but let's, do it right and do the fridge. Also, there's nowhere at the moment of storing your butter, so we will also put that in the fridge. So let's make a few data assets first. So we're going to make let's start with the bulk item data assets, I think. We've got our content store, we've got our data assets, go with the in, items data, food, bulk items. We've got our butter, we've got our jam. Okay, we just need to make two more. So you can go ahead and just make a new one, do it from scratch. Yeah, it's not too complicated. Make a data asset, bulk items, select DA, and call it pack of ham, duplicate it, DA pack of cheese. Slices. Let's get a little bit better. Okay, so let's start off with the cheese slices. Do it alphabetically. So it's a 10 pack. So we're going to put 10 in there. The data asset is cheese slice, which we made already. The actor class is, which we haven't made yet, so we'll do that in just a sec. It's a bit which you do first, chicken and the egg situation, but never mind. And for cost, 2.25 I put for my game, or my thing. We don't have it in the bulk item name, so we need to add it there. So let's go and add that in our data, enums, bulk item names. We need to add two, pack of cheese, slices, like that, and pack of ham. While we're here, do them both. Don't forget to save it, compile it. So now we should have it. Item type is an ingredient. Bulk item name, pack of cheese slices. Is a bulk pack? Yes. Did I put one in here about cold store? Doesn't matter because we haven't got that working as yet. Thought I did though. Maybe I'm missing it. Okay. Can pour, no. Should switch to ingredient, no. Static mesh is which we imported last time. full pack of cheese. Copy, paste the name and description, save a little bit of time for you guys. Copy, paste. I don't know whether we have the icon for the cheese. Let's have a look. I don't, so I'm just going to use the label for now. Just for an icon in a shop, it doesn't really matter. And we have nothing there. We have E here, and we have a little bit in the message. Pick up cheese slices or LMB to remove one slice. Use person, no, everything's the same. I thought we did have cold store in here, but maybe I didn't bother. So we haven't bothered. So we've got that, that's done. Nice and easy, nice and quick. Go ahead now and do the ham. Pack of 10 again. Slice of ham is the ingredient. That's spice we haven't done yet. What did I do for the ham? Price 3.6. Bulk pack name. Pack of ham. Is bulk pack yes. Item type ingredient. Static mesh is pack of ham. Let's call this pack of ham. And put some rubbish in here. In case I don't think we've got it, so we're going to use the ham label icon for that. Good enough. If you want to make your own icons, go ahead and do that. I will probably put them in some icons in the better icons in the package, but I haven't got any at the moment. Same thing, pick up ham slices or LMB to remove, everything else stays the same. So that's those data assets done. The next data asset we're going to do is, which I put it under storage, the aphids we made. We just got to fill it all out. Okay, so let me just check what I put on there. Okay, so storage data. Here we need to add the map element. So we can have butter. We can't put the rest of the items in yet because we haven't made them. We're going to have cheese slices and we're going to have ham. We'll come back to this in a moment to complete those. Is cold storage? Yes. Can contain, again, package, doesn't matter which order. And So here will be, what we're doing now, cheese, let's look at it right, pack of cheese, 7 slices, add another one, ham, add one more, butter, okay, which we made last time, I believe, or time before. Item type should be storage. Static mesh is fridge. You want the main mesh, not the door. Name fridge or refrigerator or whatever you want to call it, depending on what you've done for yours. No icon. We've got E. And we've got this, okay? To open the door, or MMB to return item to switch. Should display message? No. Okay, so I think that is that for now. We'll leave that one open, but we can go ahead and close the other two for now. And the next thing we're going to do is open up our fridge mesh. Where did I put it? Under here. Open up our fridge mesh. We're going to add a few sockets to our fridge mesh like we did before with the shelves. I'm going to show you one just to remind you, and then I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and do the rest to save you some time. Okay, so as I said before, you've got to make sure your sockets are kept different from anything else you've used. So I'm going to start with the butter, so BU for butter, underscore 0, so always start with 0. Let's give it a butter, we want the full butter pack, like so. And we can position it where we want it in here. Okay, so I believe I just did 3 rows of 3, so 1, 2. Remember, we have this problem with the name. If we do get it not shown up, just rename it to be correct. It will need to go back a bit, so select them all, move them back a bit, and I'm going to move them inboard a bit. Okay. And then I'm just going to attempt to duplicate these over and then rename them. Yeah, rename it, add more than one selected, it doesn't like that. 3, rename 4, rename 5. Okay. Okay, so that's how we do that. We're going to go ahead and do the same with the ham and the cheese. I'm going to pause the video and come back once we've done those, and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I've added cheese. I've just done 4 cheese and 4 ham. Do as many as you like. And if you're wondering, yes, you can stack them. You just have to be a little bit careful when you come to select them and take them out of the fridge. But yes, you can stack them. It does work fine. So we've got our references for there now. So we can now go in and finish our DA fridge. And we're going to go back to our storage data. Collapse that one, get to our storage data, and we're going to do our butter. Now remember, we used for our butter, or I used this, so let's copy the first one. and socket name we're going to add, paste, add, paste, 1, paste, 2, and you get the idea. Same as we did when we did the shells, if you've been following along with the series. I'm going to pause now and do the rest, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled in all my socket data, just like we did in our shelf unit, and everything should be hunky-dory for the fridge. Okay, make sure you've got the names accurate. It is paramount to the way the system works. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a new blueprint. In our blueprints, game items, up around the workstations. I've got shelf here. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's BPP stores. I'm just going to duplicate it, and I can change the rest in a moment to BP grid. And by the way, if you wanted to have shells that have different contents on it, what I would do, and same with fridges, what I would do is make a data asset for each one. So shelf type 1, shelf type 2, so on and so forth. And I would set and duplicate your static mesh and change your sockets accordingly, and then add them in the new data asset. And then you could just use the same actor, but just change the data asset. You just duplicate your shelf actor or fridge actor and change. So let's go into our fridge actor. Obviously, it's not DA shelf anymore. It's DA underscore fridge. You can put fridge in there as well. That should do it automatically. Let me just bring up my one here. So let me open the full thing. Check in the viewport. Yes, we do have our fridge. So the data asset side of things is working. Okay, so what I've done is on here I've added another static mesh and called this door, because that's what it is. And we're going to look for our fridge. We set that one manually, and fridge door. And you see it's not necessarily in the right place. Okay. So you will have to move it a little bit. And what I've done on for this is I've done 50. It might be a little bit different in here. 55. And 123. And that sort of puts it in the right place. So we have those there. What next do we do? Let me just quickly look at something. Okay, very simple really. Okay, because everything else is handled on the parent. So in the event graph, like that, compile, make sure compile, keep it all compiled and saved. We just want to add one extra variable, so just to save confusion, we can hide the inherited ones. We can add one new variable and just call it open. All we're going to do here is do a door opening timeline, which is very simple. What are these? Oh, so we're going to add a timeline. Make sure you choose the right one, not the component. You want this one down here. I'm going to call it door. door timeline because we called the mesh door, so it won't let us rename that. Open it up. I've done 1.5 seconds, but you can do whatever you prefer. If you want it quicker, you shorten it. If you want it longer, you lengthen it. It's as simple as that. We add up 2 points. First one is 0, 0. And the second one is 1.5, 1.5, and 1. And I always like my lead in and lead out to be a nice curve. Again, up to you how you prefer to do that. We can go ahead and close the timeline. Oh, let's rename this track to Alpha. Give it some sort of sense in the world. Okay, so back in the event graph, I'm trying to do this quickly because I don't want to waste your time too much today. I know I don't always adhere to that. So we're going to say set relative rotation, okay, because we're rotating the door. Then we're going to come up with here and we're going to say lerp rotator. Alpha to alpha as normal. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and I found negative 125. And if you're wondering how I get to that amount, I will just confirm it with you. If you grab your door, this is your pivot point, so it's your z-axis, the blue one. And you can sort of, okay, so if I do a positive rotation, it goes inwards, so it's got to be a negative. And you're just saying, well, how far do I want it open? Yeah, you can adjust it to however you want. I chose negative 125 to be good enough for me. Okay. And then we get the door open, we say set. And what we do is we just toggle it. So we get our open and we say not. So whatever it is, we're setting it to the opposite of. A good way of toggling a Boolean. Okay. Because if it's closed, it will now say it's open. If it's open, it will say it's closed. And the only other thing we need to do is in a interact event do something. We override that. We get our open. Let me zoom in a bit for you. Good branch. We get our timeline, which will be under your components here. There in the middle is good enough. If it's open, it's true, we want to reverse from end. Okay. And if it's false, we want to play from start. That is all we need to do inside this blueprint. First of all, let's just see if our door works. We can drag it out and have a look. So let's add one to our world. So let's see, where am I going to put it? You know what, I'm going to delete this out of the way. Give me some more space in here. I'm going to add it next to here. So bring our fridge in. Needs rotating towards us. About right. Okay. Save. Now we should, the rest of it should handle as normal, I assume. I'm just going to double check. But let's play first and see whether our door opens. The only reason our door will not open is if possibly the Okay, so we've got a green, which means we're hitting it. So we press E, that door opens. Press E again, that door closes. That's great. Now let's just check. Can we add butter? Yes, we can. We can add 6 butter. You see we've got our ham here. We can add 4 ham and 4. So let's buy these. And let's max everything out. Let's see if I can break the system. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. 113 credits. Buy them. Moment of truth. We've got our butter. That's fine. Okay, the coffee's still wrong way around on that shelf, but I'll deal with that another day. We haven't got our ham or our cheese. And there's a good reason for that. We don't have, and we may well have a bunch of photos. Oh no, we don't. We don't have blueprints for them. So let's quickly go in and make some blueprints. I'm just going to make sure I've not done anything crazy with them. Packages. Right, okay, so these are bulk items. So we go to our blueprints folder, game items, and bulk items. You see we don't have them. You can go ahead and duplicate any of them. I'm going to duplicate, not the coffee bag, probably not the best one. The bread is probably a good one because it already has the tape items from it inside. So go ahead and duplicate that, and we're going to call this pack of cheese. Right, spices. Duplicate that. Pack of ham slices. And go to the end, get rid of that annoying one. So we need to open up both of these. So let's do that straight away. And by duplicating the ingredients, we've got most of the stuff already here. So let's start with the cheese. Obviously, we're not a loaf of bread anymore. We are cheese. So pack of cheese slices. You can set that one as well. Okay. Compile it. Take your viewport, make sure you've got your cheese slices. Yes, we do. And we set the bread on a bit low. With cheese slices, we can raise that up a little bit, but they're not so big. And in the event graph, the only code on here is this. The only thing you've got to be aware of is BP bread. So we're going to say BP cheese slice. And we do something similar for the ham. Ham, make sure you pack a ham. Compile. In here, we change this to ham slice. Save. And checking our viewport, we've got our ham again, because we lowered up for the bread, you can raise it up a little bit. So let's now go ahead and test that, see if it actually spawns them in. So let's open up our cart. Let's add a full thing of ham, full thing of butter, cheese slices, and a full thing of butter while we're doing it, testing the fridge. Check out, buy, close. Go to our fridge. We still don't have them because I'm being too hasty. back to our, I was hoping not to do mistakes today, but never mind. Back to our items data, food, bulk items, cheese slices, and ham. We need to open both. Active class. So ham will be BP pack of ham slices. Make sure you save it. And cheese. Oh, couldn't find it for looking. BP pack of cheese slices and save. Now we should work. Let's shop for them again. Check out by close. And now you see we do have them. When my computer comes in, you see we have them here. So we can open the door. Ooh, don't know what button I pressed there. We should be able to pick up the pack. I don't know why it's not showing anything. Okay. Do I have a issue with my fridge? Can I pick up the button? No. Okay, so the fridge is colliding, which means there's probably an issue with the interior of the fridge. It's colliding. Let's have a quick look at that. So go to your mesh and let's look at the collision. So simple collision. Yes, you see it's a whole box around it. So get over that, remove the collision, bang up this a little bit, the more the better. Apply that, let it do its thing. We just want it so we can get inside the fridge. And it looks, let's up these a bit more. Let's make it a little bit more accurate. Like I say, you could use simple, complex that is simple, but try to avoid that unless absolutely necessary. This is good enough, I believe. So save that. Let's go to our third. Yeah, let's play again. Buy, because we want to test all of these. 3, 5, close. Okay, we've got them in our fridge. We can open our fridge door. Now we see we've got that. Okay, so pick up E. We can pick up our cheese. Drop it anywhere we like. Left mouse button. It takes the cheese slice. We could change that a little bit, which I may well do, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, because really it's coming out, it should come out flat. But there we go, and it should be right mouse button should put it back in. There you go. And you should find that it will automatically work with these. The way that I've tried to make the system is that it is scalable. So what to add, once we've done the initial hard work of setting up the initial parent blueprints and so on and so forth, to add an item is reasonably quick. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to make these spawn points look a little better rather than coming out vertically, because we set that for the bread. Remember, we duplicated the bread. So go to your pack slices, go to your viewport. I believe it's pivot. We've got rotation here at 90. You could just quite simply but what I will do is I'll show you a slightly better way of doing it. So highlight the pivot. We're going to add a static mesh, and we're going to choose cheese slice. Okay, so we can see what's happening. So go to our pivot. We're going to set that back to 0. That brings it flat, but we can still see if I go perspective top, and zoom in, you can still see our slice is a bit out. So let's just zero everything out there. That puts it in the middle. Once you're happy to where it is, you can go ahead and delete that reference mesh, compile it. And let's do the same for the ham. Oh, that should, okay, that's it. That's what we want. So in our pivot, we're going to add a static mesh, and we're going to add it as ham. So it's a ham, and you see it's wrong. So let's go to our pivot, and let's zero everything out. To my mind, I would like that a little bit lower. No, that's fine. As long as it's sort of in line with one that's already in the packet. And compile that. Delete that. Compile again. And then let's just give it a quick test. Let's buy, we only need to wipe out the ham and cheese. Buy those. Open up fridge door. Okay, so we can just do it here. So let's take one out. You can see now it comes out flat, much better. Goes in flat, much better. Same with the cheese. Comes out flat. Goes in flat, okay. The height might be a bit too much, but you want to adjust the height on there. I believe I did that in this take ingredient, but it was a little bit of a global thing. You can change this to lower it a bit if you wanted to, but I would be inclined to leave it as it is. It's working. So we did cover 3 items today. We've added the fridge that's working. We've added the ham that's working. And I'm going to call this video here. I just made this as a short one. It's still nearly 40 minutes. And then the next one, we'll introduce the grill and work from that. That one might take 2, maybe 3 videos to sort that one out to make the burger. It's not as easy as it first looks like. So that's all we've got today. Thank you for watching. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, give me a comment. Even if you don't like it, give me a comment. Tell me why you don't like it. Sounds bad, too boring, too long, whatever the reason, but try and keep it civil, make it constructive. If you really like my work, consider joining my Patreon or buying me a coffee. What I will be doing for the patrons is you'll be getting the videos a lot earlier than everybody else. I've got about 6 or 7 videos lined up already behind this one, so by the time we've got to here, there'll probably be another 6 or 7 lined up to go. I'll try and keep ahead of them for doing when I have time. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.